All right, welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting for financial freedom. So ladies and gentlemen, finally, the moment that everybody has been waiting for is almost here. 48 hours from now is going to be changing the markets forever. What really are we talking about? Leading up to this moment, it has been almost conventional wisdom that there was going to be a federal interest rate cut, and that would actually turn out to be very much bullish for the market. So now that we are getting super close to that, let's actually see what the data has been like and how cuts have actually impacted the rest of the market. We will talk about the stock market, and we'll obviously take a look at the ICP Internet Computer price, because really that's the main reason why we are making this video. I'm making this for my ICP holders to actually see this right before it happens, right? So it's a really big moment. Everybody has been waiting for it, and the problem with that is like everybody has been leaning towards one direction, right? So let's quickly see what the data has been like and how it's going to be affecting the ICP price. There are also a few things that I want you to pay attention to here on ICP Internet Computer Protocol. Some of them we've been talking about over the last few weeks or something like that, but obviously with the market dropping, not many people are watching the videos and they are missing out on such important stuff. So I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for ICP Internet Computer Protocol updates will now be able to find this video much more easily, right? Now, I also want to remind you of this activity that our partners over there at BingX are offering. An activity, fantastic one, $5,450 to be won, as well as 300 ton tokens. Now, the event is going to be lasting, I think, 14 days from now, and I think it's very, very important, right? Now, let's start here with the interest rate issue, right? So now I'm pulling the stock market on top, and you are seeing this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, right? Why are we talking about that? 90% plus positively correlated with the crypto market. So whatever reaction we're going to be getting from the stock market, be rest assured that we are also going to be getting the same exact reaction here in the crypto market, right? So I've highlighted a few areas here. These are the few times over the years that we have actually had a federal rate cut. So I'm going to be pulling out the federal fund, interest rate chart right there, and you can see now I have two charts, right? So the one on top is the stock market, as I said already, and then the one below, which you are seeing the line that goes up and down, is the interest rate chart. So now I've actually gone on to highlight the areas when we have had a cut, and what we are seeing is that, generally speaking, as a summary, basically, when we have got this initial rate cut, it's not really good for the market, right? So now you are probably asking, CF, are you really crazy? Everybody has been saying that, when the Fed cut, it's really great for the market, the printer goes on and stuff like that. But I also want to remind you something, right? Everybody said this time was going to be different because we've got ETFs, so we were not going to be having like huge drops and stuff like that. Everybody was also saying that we are going to be having the halving, and because of the halving, fantastic price action from BTC. We got, a little bit of that and that, right? But the bottom line here is that it doesn't matter what everybody says. What matters is what the data actually suggests, right? So let me walk you through a little bit of this here, and then we can jump into ICP Internet Computer Protocol. Let's take a look at 2019 when we had a cut here. We were also seeing that, the market initially was moving towards the upside, but eventually it crashed. Now, some people may be saying that this is because of the pandemic and stuff like that. But I also happen to think that if you're on the side of saying that the government knew or they were in control of this, pandemic and stuff like that, why wouldn't they actually start cutting? Because they were anticipating a disaster, right? Let's not get into conspiracy theories. But anyway, the bottom line is that this eventual cutting phase here led to the market also dropping, although maybe there may be other reasons there. So I'm, letting it out there. Now, the other time that we were seeing a federal rate cut was in 2007. Now, this one is a little bit much more interesting because if you take a look at the structure that we are having here on top on the Dow Jones, is also probably the same structure that we are seeing today. So that is also adding a little bit of a concern, but you can also see what eventually happened, right? When the cutting began, the market really didn't do so great, right? So these are the issues in 2000. I mean, again, the same situation, right? We are having a federal cut there, and what we are seeing is that the market also was just dumping along, right? There are also a few examples that we can use if we try to go back as far, this is a 1981, for example, and you can see that, yeah, with that, we were also seeing that the market was dumping a little bit. It doesn't happen all the time, as I said at the beginning of the video, but you can also see that in this instance here, this was maybe 1984, but those are very different market conditions anyway. You can see, the market was rising here when we had a cut, and we had low interest rates. So yeah, in as much as this data is suggesting that in the immediate short term, this may not be good for the market, I just want to point out that, look, everybody who has been saying that low interest rates are great for the market, what they're actually saying is that when the cutting phase is almost over and the market like is having like stable or constant interest rates like this is where the market really flourishes. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Even like increase in interest rates are great for the market as well. Like there are just a few times that we have seen that, you know, an increase in the interest rates has actually led to a market crash and stuff like that. So this is what the data is suggesting. And whenever you're going to be making an argument here as to where we are sitting, you can also see that, you know, we are headed for a cutting phase here. What is going to be happening remains basically a question, right? So I'm leaning towards the direction of saying that not we're going to be having some kind of an impact. So that's why I'm saying that we have to brace for impact, because in the past it has always been like that. So we'll see what happens, whether the market is different this time around, but the data suggesting very much, you know, otherwise. But look, here on ICP Internet Computer Protocol, we still have to make a decision, right? I'm going to be taking trades myself personally. And what are we seeing here on the 3 daily time frame? We have had a very, you know, nice strategy here to say that, look, if the RSI is getting back to the 50 mark, as you can see with these arrows that I was just drawing here. Now, this is on a 3 daily time frame. You are also getting a corresponding rejection on top right there. So all these massive rejections that we are seeing here, we're pretty much coinciding with, you know, a rejection here in the RSI. So I can also point to this area here, this area I wanted to point out, which obviously coincides with this area right there. And also coming to more recent examples here, even the last 3 rejections that we have seen on ICP ever since, like, you know what, this is July, you can see that we are also having a massive rejection here on the RSI. We're also seeing this rejection here in August, and that was also obviously coinciding with the 50 mark here on the RSI, rejecting the relative strength index. Even where we are sitting today, we can also see that the RSI is also being stopped right at that 50 mark. So the decision here for me is very much easy. If I see ICP here on the RSI breaking away from that 50 mark and pushing a little bit higher, I know that this is great news. But should we continue to have rejections like these ones, it probably means that it's bad news for the ICP price, and we could actually go a little bit lower. So what is going to be happening like between now and Wednesday is an emotional roller coaster. So you see, for example, today we've got all red here, right? I won't be surprised tomorrow if we see all green, right? And really crazy green, like 15%, 20% and stuff like that. Then leading into the Fed meeting on Wednesday, it could also be a different atmosphere altogether. So brace for volatility. Is really going to be crazy out there. But the conditions are set here for the ICP price. Really, the key has been the RSI here. You can see that whenever we have been clearing the 50 mark here on the RSI on the 3 daily time frame, like these have actually resulted in, you know, a sustainable bounce for the ICP price. So I'll be cheering for the ICP price to eventually break above the 50 mark here on the 3 daily time frame. But other than that, you know, control is actually with the stock market much more than the ICP price right at this point. But we'll see what eventually happens. But for short-term trades, which I'm going to be talking about a lot in the Patreon and stuff like that, I'm going to be focused much more on what the RSI is going to be doing, right? But other than that, I also want to remind you of a toolkit that I made for you all summer, and this basically is going to be teaching you how to set up your own charts, indicators, and become a successful trader. Now 25 people have joined the toolkit, and 9 people have actually rated it 4.4 out of 5. Now they've, you know, basically wanted to see much more people rating it, because, you know, the bigger the sample size, the better it is gonna be. But it is only $35, and it's a one-time payment, so there are no recurring payments or something like that. One time you have the course your entire life, and my hope is that it becomes something that is very much helpful to you. So I'll see you on the next one. Just remember, none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying or selling anything because of anything I say, right? But if you like the content, don't forget to delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and then I would have to see you on the very next one. Take good care of yourselves. Bye.